The problem given is number of islands. So this is a graph based problem. With this is the main problem which should be solved in order to have more knowledge on another graph problems. This problem provides solid understanding of them all. So the given question is a grid which contains arrays. It's an array of arrays, so it's like a complete landmass. So here 1 means that block is land, and if it is 0 it is water. So we need to find all the islands. An island is considered if there is ones for horizontal or vertical. For this example, the island would be these 4 and these 2 rows, completely 3 rows together, and yeah, and that will only be one island. The island is this one. This is one island, and for this the output is 3 because the first island is this one, and this one, and this one. So the land is only be considered for vertical and horizontal direction, but not diagonal positions. So what we need to do is, firstly we need to iterate through the entire array, and we need to check if the current value which we are at is land or what land. So for I, so let me give total number of rows is will be equal to grid of len of grid, yeah, len of grid, and number of columns will be equal to len of grid of 0. It will give the number of columns of that grid. So I will just iterate through this array for I in range of rows, and for j in range of columns. I'll check if the position which we are at currently is land. So if grid of I comma j is equal to 1, as a given is string, in form of string, I am putting it as string. What we need to do, we need to use a graph traversal algorithm. We can use either BFS or DFS, so that we will find all the connected ones to it by using any traversal. So BFS would be easy, so I'm using BFS. I'll call BFS for I comma j, and after it calls, I can just increment the island plus equal to 1, because after this BFS is called, it recursively or iteratively calls all the connected ones and returns, and it will just increment the island by 1. So for this I also need to give us visited set, which includes all the rows and row comma column set which are already visited, so that we will not visit it again. So if we are currently at this one position, after traversing through BFS, we will cover all the elements in this as visited. So in this loop, after this 0 comma 0 is complete, we will just move to 0 comma 1, right? So again 0 comma, when we come to 0 comma 1, again we should not calculate all this, so that we will just put the visited as true for that. So this is pretty much completed, and we will just return island count. And now we need to implement our BFS solution. So what is BFS solution takes? BFS solution question method will take 2 input, row comma column. I'll just give it as row r comma c. So for r comma c, we need to implement BFS using a queue. So we need a DQ. So for that I'll just add q equal to collections dot DQ, Yeah, I'm just using this queue, uh, and I'll also put this add this as a tuple in visited section r comma c. So now it's added. So now we need to iterate until the q is 0. Like if you know BFS, you pretty much know what I'm writing right now. So until q is not empty, we'll just keep on iterating. So our directions are vertical and horizontal, right? So I'll just create a dir array which has um, all the directions we need to traverse from that point. It could be 0 comma 1 and 0 comma minus 1 and 1 comma 0 and minus 1 comma 0. So these are all the 4 possible directions. So now I will just give the new column and new row and new column values. So what these values will be, so when until the q is present, we will just take a row comma call from the leftmost of the queue. This is completely BFS, and I will just use this row as I need to do for all the 4. I will just use a for loop for I in dir. I'll just use x because you need to not confuse. For x in dir, uh, new row would be the row which is popped by the q plus the x of 0. Similarly, for this column plus x of 1. In this way it will be incremented, and after getting new row and column, we'll check if it is already visited, and it should also be in the range, and it should also have the value 1. So we should consider 4 conditions. So if nr in range of the rows, right here, in range of rows, and nc in range of columns, and grid of nr of nc should be equal to 1, and the last case would be it should not be in the visited, and nr comma nc not in vis. So if they are not in visited, what we can do, we can just add to the queue in the end. So I'll just add append nr comma nc, and I will mark this as visited dot add of nr comma nc. Yeah, now I think it's almost completed. Let me check by running. Collections is not defined. Okay, I got a spelling mistake here. It's saying I cannot access local variable island, but it is not associated with the value. I need to initialize the island. I am initializing with 0. Forgot to initialize. And give me the wrong answer, and let me check why it's giving. I am getting the output as 9, but expected is 1. Where I am going wrong. So I'm just checking if grid is okay. And I think I should also put a value, and command J, not in VIS. Okay, I'm still getting the same error. So where am I going wrong? Okay, I need to add the first element, right? Sorry, I didn't add the first element here. Should be R comma C. I said tag takes only one argument, but given two. Where did I add? Okay, here. Yeah, it's done. Yeah, so in this way we'll solve this problem. Thanks.